It's time for the Daily Stand Up Podcast presented by Agile Dad with your host, Lee Henson. Without any further ado, let's get started. All right, there's a topic that's been on my mind lately, and it's about leading your team as a Scrum Master. Now, I say lead, and I'm being careful here because I'm not insinuating in a team lead. You don't need to be a team lead to be a Scrum Master. There, I just said it. I think that when I say lead your team, you do have to be in a position of strong leadership skills. So I want to introduce the top 4 tips to help you lead your team, govern your team, guide your team as a strong Scrum Master. So here we go. Many people start with the impression that a Scrum Master is a manager, and that's not true in a traditional sense. The Scrum Master should be a servant leader who's responsible for helping the team succeed. The Scrum Master is also responsible for helping the team resolve impediments, facilitating many of the Scrum ceremonies, and coaching the team to help improve their performance. So, the Scrum team itself should be self-organizing, self-governed, self-policing, which means that they're responsible for managing their own work and getting things done. The Scrum Master is the support unit for the team by providing guidance, coaching, and by helping resolve issues that they can't resolve themselves. But the Scrum Master is never in a position where they're making decisions for or on behalf of the team. The team needs to do that themselves. For all you Scrum Masters out there, leading a team may not always be easy, but it can be incredibly rewarding if it's done well. So as a Scrum Master, you play a vital role in helping your team succeed. It was Ken Schwaber who says that the responsibility or accountability of the team and organizational success using or implementing Scrum felt squarely on the shoulders of the Scrum Master. So, it's a pretty vital role. You are responsible for seeing that impediments are removed. That means that whether you're empowering the team to remove the impediments themselves so they don't make them again, or whether you're helping resolve impediments that the team can't resolve themselves, you're responsible for helping facilitate ceremonies. You're responsible for coaching the team. Over 70%, 70% of what a Scrum Master does is intangible. It's guiding the team to success by providing with the tools necessary in order for them to successfully deliver product increments every sprint, to help them make sure they understand what they're doing and optimize what they're doing so they can be efficient and effective. So here comes the tips. So it took me a while to sit down and boil it down, and I was trying to come up with a top 5 list. But in coming up with top 5, I came up with 4 right away, and the 5th one just never came to me. So my challenge for you is if you can think of one tip that I missed that you want to throw down in the comments here, that would be absolutely amazing. That way we can have a 5th tip. And and I'll even give you credit for the tip that you provide if we choose yours as the one. So here we go. Starting with 4 tips in no specific order. Number 1, the Scrum Master needs to be a servant leader. Your role is to serve the team, not to boss them around. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to run and fill water bottles or go start people's cars or, check their email for them. That's not what it's about. It's about helping the team achieve their goals and positioning the team to overcome any challenges they may face. I'm going to read that part again to you because I want to make sure you heard it. I wrote it down. Positioning the team to overcome any challenges that they face. That means that you're not necessarily doing every impediment removal process for them, but that you're making sure they have the tools necessary to do it, and that you're being there to make sure it happens. Which leads me to number 2. The second one is become an amazing communicator. Communication is the key to success in every step of life, especially when engaging with teams. Make sure to communicate regularly with your team and each of the members and with the stakeholders, and be clear and concise in your communication. Be open to feedback. Listen with the intent to understand instead of with the intent to reply. Okay, number 3, be organized and efficient, like I'm being right now. As a Scrum Master, you have a lot of accountabilities. One of the most important things you can do is be organized and efficient so that you can stay on top of everything. Use and leverage tools and techniques to help you stay organized and manage your time effectively. Figure out what your organization uses and make sure that you leverage those tools so that you can be as efficient and optimized as possible. And finally, number 4 is become flexible and adaptable. Now, this is interesting because You often hear these terms, flexibility and adaptability, referred to when we're talking about the backlog and about completion of the backlog. But sometimes as a Scrum Master, things don't always go to plan. And I think that if you have a Scrum Master that's very rigid, it makes it hard for the team and organization to see success because you're being very dogmatic in your approach to how you handle problems and problem solve. I think it's important for you to be adaptable so that you can adjust your approach as needed, pivot when needed, and help the team see a different approach, and maybe even sometimes help you see a different approach so that you can really help the team optimize. It doesn't matter whether you're using Jira or Confluence or Monday or whatever tool it is. It doesn't matter. Azure DevOps, whatever you're using is going to do the job. The tool is not there to drive the way you do work. The tool is there to help you as you do the work have a way to masterfully display and to create reporting mechanisms that are going to help the organizational leaders understand exactly where we are. I think the big piece here, the big message out of all the ones I talked about, everything revolves around communication. So communication is just essential. If you don't have communication, all the rest of those things are for naught. Everything needs to be aligned. The stakeholders need to be aligned around a project's goals, objectives, and expectations. The organization needs to be aligned with a North Star strategy. Product owners need to have a simple, basic strategy and a vision for where they're guiding their product or service and making sure it's in line with the North Star. And I think that as a Scrum Master, we need to remember that we're not dealing with robots, we're dealing with humans, and we have to treat them as such. And we have to understand their needs in order to help them achieve success. So get to know your team members. Take time to ask them the questions. Find out about their strengths, their weaknesses, their preferences, things they love, things they hate, what drives them, what motivates them. And if you are doing it in a sincere way and coming from a place of sincerity, you're going to be surprised at the positive, productive work environment that you create. Build trust and rapport with those team members. It's essential for you to be honest, open, and transparent with all your team member communications. Be supportive of their efforts. Tell them when they do something good. Remind them. Empower them. Give them the authority to make decisions and take ownership for their work. This is going to motivate them and improve their performance. And whatever you do as a Scrum Master, one of the most important things is to recognize and celebrate success. If you can pull those things together as a leader, oh my goodness, you're just going to see a pathway open up to you that you've never seen before. And I think the big message here is that being a Scrum Master isn't always easy, but I promise you that even if you fight through those hard times, it's definitely rewarding, and it's going to be one of the best things that you've ever done. So my challenge to you is to master those 4 points. If you can master those 4 points, you're going to be incredible at what you do. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, learn more at agiledad.com. We would love to hear from you. As always, we encourage you to stay healthy, stay well, and stay agile, my friends. Until next time, do take care.